Ultimate Urban Fantasy Podcast, episode number 3. You're listening to the Ultimate Urban Fantasy Podcast. We've got all that's awesomely supernatural on TV, movies, books, games, and more. Your one-stop podcast for vampires, werewolves, mutants, and myths. And now here are your hosts, Archer, Sherry, and Ravenheart. I'm S.A. Archer, co-author and co-creator of The She. My co-host is Sherry Sameen, actress and voice talent, and managing all the techie stuff. And our game correspondent is S. Ravenheart, who is the other half of the She Creation team. And this is the Ultimate Urban Fantasy Podcast. And today's topic is the Grimm TV show. We watched all the episodes of the second season. And you didn't see the first season, Sherry?
I didn't, no.
Yeah, I haven't seen the first season either. So we're jumping in on the second season, so I know there's some stuff we're probably missing on the big picture, the big story arc.
Mm-hmm.
But there's plenty in the second season to talk about. So whenever the first season comes out on Netflix, I'll be able to catch up. But
okay.
Until then, we're just going on the second season here. The new season, season 3, is going to be starting on NBC in March. And this is 2013 that we're recording this in, so the podcast will be out there forever. So this will be for the season 3 is getting ready to come up. So, what did you guys think? Do you want me to give the synopsis of the series before we start talking, or do?
Yeah, go ahead and give that first.
Okay. The setup is that police detective Nick Burkhardt discovers that he's one of the descendants of the Brothers Grimm. Now, if you're a Grimm, then you're able to see the supernatural side of creatures who pass themselves off as human most of the time. When they're emotional, these creatures shift for a second to their animal side, and then they shift back. Normal people can't see that, but Nick can. When the creatures go all feral, like they're going to attack you, then normal people can see that. And those encounters are what leads to tales of werewolves and such. So in the past, Grimms pretty much just slayed these creatures as soon as they found them. But Nick is going at it more like a policeman, which is what he is, in that the creatures, as long as the creatures are not hurting anyone, then he'll leave them to live peaceably. Now, I can't pronounce the names of the creatures.
I couldn't either. Yeah.
That was crazy. And the spellings don't even look anything like what they sound.
I wondered if they were real myth creatures, or if they made those creatures up for the series. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It looks like dramatic spelling.
Yeah.
As far as like how they spell
when he gets into those ancient books from the family that he had, I'm like, I wonder, because there were different languages, and I always wondered, I'm like, I wonder if that really comes from somewhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like myths and stuff.
I think they made it up. I think they've made it up.
Yeah.
But maybe they had like somebody with German language.
Well, I mean, I knew the books were made up, but I didn't know if they...
Yeah, well, I mean, I think even, like, it's not mythological, I don't think.
Okay.
Like, in season 2, some of the creatures that we've seen people shift into is wolves, lizards, rats, sheep, coyotes. There's something called a Hexenbiest that looks like a witch / ghost / banshee.
Yes.
So the show's format is set up kind of in a monster of the week. So every week there's, whatever monster comes up, he's got to go fight it. And then, so you can watch one episode and kind of get the little adventure, the story arc. It has a beginning and an end. You can watch one episode and be satisfied. But having watched all the episodes in season 2, you can see there's an underlying current of a story that's constantly building as well. So if you watch the full season, you're going to get the full tale. And I think a lot of shows are starting to go there with that underlying tale that's continuing. It used to be everything was very episodic on television.
Yeah.
It was like you could jump in anywhere, and it was the characters hadn't changed, you know. But this has got there's building themes there, so I think that makes it cool. So what were you gonna comment on, Sherry?
Well, the Hexenbiest, that was one of the things that I couldn't quite figure out in the whole of season 2 when I watched it, is who is she and what is her beef with Grimm? I couldn't figure out. I never figured that part out.
Sorry about that. I have a loudmouth podcat making himself known. He's tearing a strip out, literally, and running circles around here. Good grief. I don't know if you can hear him yelling at the back door.
Absolutely.
Yes.
It's great. He's just our podcat for the day.
Where's a pillow to throw at him? I don't have one within reach.
From what I was able to read and kind of pick up with that Hexenbiest chick, it sounds like in season 1, Nick did something to make her lose her powers. It's like the younger girl at the
because I know they killed the mother in season 2. The Hexenbiest. Right. Yeah, his mother killed her mother.
Yeah, and so I think in season 1 he did something that took away that girl's power, and it sounds like there was a whole thing in season 1 where, like, the Hexenbiest girl was Nick's partner's girlfriend and had done some nasty stuff to him, and so they strip her of her powers, and she ran off. Right before she ran off, she's the reason that Nick's girlfriend
I knew
went into a coma.
Yeah. She was going to get him. That was her revenge before she took off.
Right. So that's initially her beef, and then her mom gets killed, and she thinks Nick killed her mom. When we find out at the beginning of...
in a way, because his mom kills her, so,
Yeah.
Still in the family.
Yeah, it's still in the family, yeah. And I love Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio as the mother. Oh my God, that is the best character. I mean, I loved every episode she was in. In fact, when she first came out, I'm like, God, she looks familiar. And then I thought, as an actor, this is a kick-ass role for an older woman. I mean, not only are there very few roles for women, but older women, and you're usually like mom, grandma, teacher, attorney, and she plays such a kick-ass badass, and she doesn't, I just love the fact that she just doesn't make any excuses, or she doesn't even say anything. She just does. I'm like, that is the best role to have. I thought she was so lucky. And then when I found out it was, because I was like, she looks familiar. But then when I found out who it was, I'm like, oh my God. She was awesome. I think they're going to bring her back in season 3. I hope so.
It seemed like they left the door open when she left.
I hope so.
She was supposed to do something with those coins or whatever it was. And then she doesn't do whatever it was she said she was going to do. I don't know. I forget exactly what happened, but
she was taking them back to Mordor. I mean, where they were created. I'm sorry. When I heard that, that's exactly what came to mind. It's like, Lord of the Rings. Okay.
That's an interesting take on the Brothers Grimm. Just crossed.
Sorry, I had to throw that in there.
Yeah, like she was going to get on a plane, and then she doesn't and gets on in a taxi or something.
That's right. At the end, because I remember going, what is she doing? Where is she going? Yeah, she fakes him out. He drops her off, and she goes she doesn't take the plane.
Yeah, and she was in contact with somebody. I'm not sure what was going on with that. Where I'm kind of a little bit confused with the Grimm thing. And maybe they've explained it in season 1, and maybe it's something they haven't talked about yet. But it sounds like that the royal family was using the Grimms to control the other creatures. Like maybe they became...
They still are in a way, because they keep sending assassins to Grimm.
Right.
Sending monster assassins. So I don't... Yeah, you have the same question I do. I didn't understand the link. I watched every episode waiting to have that gap filled in. Yeah, and I didn't quite figure out what.
Yeah.
The
It might be the open question that, you know, keeps you going. Like, what is that about? You know?
Yeah, maybe we're searching for the answer to that. That's the whole point of the show. Is you're not supposed to know yet.
Yeah, and the prince that's the boss, that's Nick's boss at the precinct. I'm wondering, like, in season 1 if they revealed this or whatever, but half the time I'm like, maybe he's really a good guy or kind of on the verge of being a good guy.
He seems like that. Like, I can't quite figure him out.
Right, and then there's like hints that he's supposed to be a bad guy or something. Like he's looking for the key too and stuff. But then he makes choices that sounds kind of like a good guy.
Yeah.
You know? So
like, same like what we were talking about yesterday about the lines being blurred. You know, good and bad. You know, I mean, it's all, I guess, and you know, yeah, where he's come from. I think he is technically a good person. I think he is, but he's got a job to do. And he's torn. It seems like he's torn between accomplishing what he needs to for his family, and, you know what I mean, and doing what he feels internally is right. You know?
Yeah.
Because he protects Grimm. I've seen him in a couple episodes defending Grimm. So I'm like, how? He didn't, unless that's his way of, you know, keep your enemies closer. You know, keep your friends closer.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's up with that. Or if he's trying to control him in a way. Like,
yeah.
I'm going to make him my enforcer. He doesn't know that's what he's doing. I'm just directing him to do my dirty work for me or something. I'm not sure how that's... We'll have to see if we can find that season 1.
Yeah.
And it might, you know, like we said, might be coming up in season 3 too.
Yeah. And he doesn't seem to enjoy at all the spell that he's been put under for the girlfriend either.
Yeah.
You know, he is not happy about that. So I'm not sure if he's not happy about it because he likes Grimm in a way, or if he just doesn't like the fact that he doesn't have the choice. You know what I mean? Like, he can't... Right.
It's complicating things.
Yeah.
Yeah, the obsession is keeping him from doing whatever else it was he was trying to...
Yeah.
Taking him off his focus, off his game. That whole girlfriend, her memory loss and everything, I don't know. How do you feel about that so far?
Well, you know, what's weird is that's when I started watching the show. I think that was almost the beginning part of season 2, and I was confused as all heck about her memory loss. I didn't understand what was happening in the beginning. I was like, what the heck happened to her? I couldn't, but yeah, as it came out,
her coma is like spell induced, and part of the spell is destroying the memories.
Yeah. I just don't know how I feel about that. I understand why the witch or the Hexenbiest did it, and as a revenge, because it's the only woman it seems Grimm ever loved or told. I think he even told her who he was. I don't think he's ever done that before, because I think that came out. He told her right before the spell who he was and everything.
Yeah, so, I've noticed a pattern in some shows, and I think that it really just feels like they're hitting that pattern so hard that it's obvious, where it's like, we want to have a relationship, will they, won't they question going on.
Yeah, that's the eternal
coming along.
Goal, yeah.
Yeah, so that we can't ever let them be happy together. So, sounds like season 1 was all, I can't tell her who I really am, or can I? Will I lose her if I tell her? So it was all about, will she find out in season 1? So the end of season 1, oh yay, she finds out, or almost is going to find out. He was going to tell her. I don't know if he actually told her, but he was going to at least. Yeah. And then the spell hits her, so it totally, you know, it was almost to that point where he's going to tell her everything's going to work out, or they'll find a way to work it out. Then they have to throw something crazy in there to break them up. So here comes this spell out of the blue, and here comes this whole memory loss issue. So then all through season 2, you're going, will they, won't they? Again, going, I don't know if they're going to make it through this. And the way that the girlfriend, what was her name?
The character Juliet.
Juliet, and Juliet is played by Bitsy Tulloch, I think is how
I'd say Bitsy Tulloch. Yeah, she's
a beautiful actress, and I think she's doing the best that she can in that situation. But it seemed to me like, all right, you know, if you remember everything but this one guy, and you're going to still live in the same house, and you're going to at least try and reclaim that life, even if you're not sure what it was, that you should be trying to do that. You know, not sort of living awkwardly with this stranger. I don't know if I even want to date him. You know,
yeah.
Like
in season 2, it seemed like they were towards the end. She was trying a lot harder, and her friends and family were trying to convince her of the history. You know what I mean? Trying to. So I think she was starting to try a little bit harder.
Yeah, as soon as that starts going, then the whole curse kicks in, and then she starts going towards Nick's boss, and then you know, he finds out about it, and then that tears them apart again. So it has this constant, we can't ever let them find happiness together, so we're going to throw all this crazy stuff at them. Yeah. Doesn't it seem like it's...
Yeah. It's like the anti-fairy tale. It's funny because it's based on the fairy tales, but or maybe it's more Grimm, actually, because Grimm they were not nice fairy tales. So maybe, so maybe that's more of the Grimm, the real Grimm. Like, they can't happily ever after doesn't exist, you know? Mm-hmm. So, and you know, in your intro, you answered one of my questions, because I was like, why is it that Grimm is the only one that can see them when they're emotional, and then other times people see them? And then we went ahead and answered that. It's when when they let the beast come out, then other people can see them. And I was like, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I think that's all. I mean, I already covered all the questions.
You covered your notes?
I thought, because in your intro, you covered a lot of them. I was like, oh, there they go. There's a lot of my stuff. But, yeah. Okay, do you have a topic?
I have lots of stuff written
down.
Good. In season 2, we saw Nick's cop buddy get brought in on the secret.
Yeah,
So I get the feeling, you know, all through season 1, he doesn't know what's going on. And then in season 2, he thinks he's going crazy. And so Nick has to tell him what's happening, and it sort of brings him along.
Which I kind of like that, the fact that, and then that was confusing again in the beginning, because I didn't know what the heck was going on. So, because he was one of the ones I'm like, is he seeing him? Is he not seeing him? Is he seeing him? Is he not seeing him? Because I couldn't figure it out. But I like the fact that he thought he was going mental, and he thought he was going to have to quit the job. He thought he quit the force. I mean, he really thought he was losing his mind. Mm-hmm. So I like that. I like that he didn't tell anybody at first, and he just thought he was going nuts. And then that Grimm had to fill him in. Mm-hmm. I kind of like that.
So it kind of took the opposite path that what they did with Juliet. You know, with Juliet, it's like, don't tell her. Crappy stuff happens, and then now I can't even talk to her at all. Mm-hmm. Where with the cop buddy, it seems like it went through a more natural arc. Like, he gets brought along, and, you know,
yeah, and you know,
it felt more natural.
Yeah, but the only thing that got me about that is if he was, I don't know what it is with, where are they at? Portland? Where is that? Okay, are all the monsters living in Portland? Because I'm thinking because it's like if this detective is seeing him on a daily, weekly basis, and it has nothing to do with Grimm, he's seeing him on his own, you know, in the beginning. Why the heck aren't more detectives and people all over the world seeing them as much? You know what I mean? Like, I'm sitting there going, are they just only in Portland? Is that like the hub? Or
seems like they're all over the place, I think. Because like they had one come up from Mexico from one episode to help try and rescue the kids that are getting drowned.
Yeah, that's right.
And the coyotes came from a different episode. I think they were from Texas or something. So
I went, there's
all over.
Mm-hmm. I was trying to get James to watch some of it, and I finally sat down and had him watch an episode, and it was the dumbest episode. And I'm like, I swear, honey, they're not like this. I mean, he happened to see the worst possible clip of the show. You know that I don't have in my list of actors or characters, but he's that rabbit one, that older guy. I think he's a rabbit.
Yeah, it was a rabbit. I thought he turned into a rat. Maybe he's
a rat or something meek and mild.
Uh-huh.
His character's annoying. I'm sorry. Because he brings a kind of like he just brings down the reality of it. Like, the rest of it seems really legit and real, and you can see how it could be in this world and everything. But his character is so not stupid, but just
timid
caricature, or I can't I don't know. I just don't like the way he
cliche or something.
Yeah, well, yeah. I don't know. I can't even explain it, but he's just the comic relief, but not in a good way. You know,
right.
Like he's supposed to be funny, but it's just stupid. Well, that's
missing
the part.
The mark. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was the part that played for James, and and I'm going, really, I swear the show is so much better. You just happen to see the worst possible, made it look stupid. You know what I mean? It was it was the episode where that character was tied up by can't remember the creature, but he was being tortured.
Yeah.
In the garage or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
That episode. Yeah. So that's the only character I don't like. But thank God he's not on too often. It's just not. He just brings down the level, I think, of this show. I wish they would just get rid of him. Did you guys like that character, or is it just me?
I don't think that Ravenheart saw
I don't
him.
think so.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I haven't seen all the episodes. I watched the first one last night.
Oh, okay.
The first for season 2.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. Yeah, he wasn't on enough to bother me, so
I guess he just bothered me. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I was just like, he's not good for the show. He came in with a completely different energy than the rest of the show. Like he just didn't fit. Like it was more like he was supposed to be in a comedy and everybody else was in reality. I don't know.
Yeah. I'll tell you who does a good job with the comic relief is Monroe.
Is the friend? Yes, Monroe. Yeah, he's really good.
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce that. I think it's like Blutbad or something. But he's essentially like a wolf. He can turn into a wolf. He's one of those creatures. And he just cracks me up. I think he makes, every scene he's in,
yes,
he does an awesome job. See,
that to me, that's good because it's, I like his character and I like his acting.
Was that the guy that in episode 1, the guy and girl come in just after the police have dragged the one guy off, and the mother pops out and jumps on that guy? Was that him?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that guy's pretty funny. I mean, at the end of that scene right there, he's walking the two of them out, and the guy turns to what's the main character's name? I don't have it right in front of me.
Nick.
Nick? Okay, that's what I thought. That guy turns to Nick and he's like, "Man, I gotta tell you, your mother scares the crap out of me."
Yes.
Yeah.
Just the way he said it was hilarious.
Yeah, he's an excellent actor.
Yeah.
He did a great job.
Yeah, he's great. He is great for the comic relief. It doesn't feel forced. It feels natural.
Yeah. I agree. I like his character.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, I was just saying he's good.
Yeah. The actor's name is Silas Weir Mitchell. And according to his little bio on the Grimm's website, he's done over 100 television guest appearances on series such as My Name is Earl, The Mentalist, Numbers, Burn Notice, and Prison Break. And he's been in a lot of feature films.
Oh, wow.
And he also has done his own, he did a director, producer, and starred in several of his own movies.
Wow.
He did a short film last year called Song in a Convenience Store, which actually got Best Narrative Short at the Athens Film Festival.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, he's like a creative guy. Does a lot of theater and stuff.
Yeah.
So he seems, and he comes across as like a very, talented actor. Like, he's very...
Now watch, it's one of those actors that once you notice him, you'll
see him everywhere.
Yes, you'll start.
Yeah.
You never noticed him really before because he blended so well.
He looks familiar.
Yes. All it takes is something to make somebody stand out, and then you'll start. All of a sudden, you're like, "Dang, you're seeing him everywhere."
But yeah, so he's really cool, and I think he he doesn't steal the show, you know, like he doesn't take over. Like sometimes like a secondary character will be really awesome and you're almost like, I'd rather it be about him, you know?
Yeah.
He doesn't take it over, but every scene he's in, he definitely adds. Like it brings it up a level.
And I think the female one, where is she? Rosalie?
Yeah.
No, I don't think she's the same thing though. I forgot what she was.
Yeah, I don't know what I've seen her transform, but I can't tell what it is.
Yeah, but I like the fact of the herb shop that it's that almost like that Wiccan herb shop, and she knows all about the concoctions, and he's helping her. I think they make a really good couple. I mean, they work really well together. I think.
Yeah, they almost hooked up, and then they did the thing where, we can't have them hook up, so she had to go take care of her aunt
she was
or
pregnant
something.
in real life.
Oh, in real life?
Yeah, they had to write her out. I don't think they had a choice. She went to see her sick aunt.
Yeah. She'd make a call in every couple episodes. Like,
that's what happened. I was reading that the other day. I was like, oh, that's why they did that to her. I knew there was a reason they did that. Yeah, she was pregnant, because I remember seeing that she'll be back on the show.
Okay. I was wondering, because I was like, man, just as soon as somebody starts to hook up, they got to kick something.
That's why, because I don't think they could have hid her behind all the shelves and everything stopped much longer. You know?
Yeah, it's hard to have love scenes with the baby bump in the way.
Yeah. Oh, man. You
know all about that, don't you?
Yeah, only shoot from the back. Like, hi, Monroe, how are you doing? Like they do in the soap operas. They're always behind the couch.
Yeah.
They always have a pillow in front of them. Like, yeah.
Very casually. Nobody notices you're hugging a pillow for 6 months.
They're gaining face weight right here, but nobody notices that they're getting pregnant. You know, they're getting filled out all over.
Especially on daytime TV shows, it's like you're only going to be pregnant for like 3 episodes, and then you have the baby. You know, you can't be pregnant for the whole season. You know. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of something else because I really do like the show. I'm glad it's starting up in March. That was going to be one of my questions too when it was coming back.
Sounds like the Hexenbiest is going to be our main bad lady there towards the end. It sounds like she was bad. Every time I saw her, I'm like, oh, this lady's like not like somebody you mess with. And then she went over to Europe. That's when I started seeing her, is when she was already in Europe and she was mingling with the people there. It wasn't the prince at first. She was hooking up with, I don't even know who that guy was. I don't even know what the character was. The character, I think, is...
and he was a badass, whoever it was.
Yeah, he's the prince's half-brother or something. He's one of the royals. One of the royals, you know.
You know what I found interesting about that is they hooked... I mean, when she met him and everything, you can tell this guy is not somebody to mess with. I mean, you could tell he was like mobster type, like mafia. Like, you know, if he just goes like that, you're dead. And she came across so cool and like, I'm not afraid of you. You know what I mean? Like, she was very... And I thought, okay, this is a lady to watch out for, because she's standing next to a very dangerous guy and completely unfazed. Like, there's nothing that person... And I was like, ooh, that's when I took notice of her. And then I realized that she was the bad person, because I wasn't even sure who she was at first.
Yeah.
But I like that.
Yeah, Ravenheart, to give you an idea, she comes across like this perky blonde, you know, like I could see her as a cheerleader, and she's all smiley, and, you know.
Well, she just looks the part. She doesn't act that way. She looks like that. Like, but she comes across very like, you know, I'll cut you. But you don't, she doesn't say it. But you just see it on that face, like, you know, like, you're dead. You know what I mean? You just know.
You can feel that, like,
threat underneath. You can feel like that rattlesnake somewhere, and she's really good at that. But she doesn't. And what's cool, it reminds me of Clint Eastwood in the spaghetti westerns. He didn't have to say anything. You just knew. You know what I mean? It was what he did. It was what it was, and that's her, which I love. I love that, because I think I said that before in either in a review of your guys' series or something else. But I love that about the strong women. You know, that because they're more that not man, but that Clint Eastwood type where they don't have to say anything. They just are.
Right.
Badass.
They don't have to beat their drum. They can just be there.
Exactly. Exactly. But I mean, that's what I'm like, because your characters in your series are like that. They just are. They just are. They don't have to tell people. They don't have to show people. They just are.
Mm-hmm.
You just know what you're messing. Like when Donovan's there, you just know. He doesn't really have to say anything. You just know.
Yeah, he hasn't had a chance to really show his abilities.
A little bit. I mean,
just a little bit, just a hint. He hasn't gone all out.
Yeah.
And I'm waiting for a chance for him to go all out.
Yeah, the Clash of the Titans is what I'm waiting for. I can't wait to see where the Lou thing goes too, because you've completely thrown me for a loop. You completely. I think I'm farther than most readers, but I mean I've completely been thrown. I have no idea what's going to happen now, and I'm not saying anymore because I don't like it. But I mean I love that though, because I'm like, but that's not what was supposed to happen. I mean, it wasn't even my. You know how you can kind of guess what's going to happen? That wasn't even a thought in my head. Not even. And I'm like, what? Now I have no idea. It's like my feet have been kicked out from under me, and now I have no idea what's going to happen with that show.
And you've got it all planned out.
Yes. Oh, do you?
We know exactly what's going to happen, and that's actually the reaction we've been going for.
Yay! Yay! I feel bad because I took us away from Grimm, but I loved I love you know what I mean? I love the series so much. But yeah, but that's what I like about her.
We'll do an episode on them soon.
So. Yeah. Yeah, but that's her character, that no talking.
Yeah, with her though, and I was listening to the Grimm podcast. They have a fan podcast that goes over every single episode. I might have to listen to their podcast to find out what happened in season 1.
Who does the podcast? Just a fan? Just a couple fans?
Yeah.
Really?
They're not like connected to the series. They just are doing it, and then kind of like every episode they kind of do a recap and kind of give their reactions. And so they brought this up, and I was thinking this too when Juliet drives them crazy, like she drives me crazy. But Juliet, like the Hexenbiest comes up to Juliet and is like, oh, hey, so, you know, Aunt Marie's trailer that's really, really important to this Grimm secret that you aren't supposed to know about? Do you know where that went? You know, was there some strange stuff in that trailer? And then Juliet's just gushing in like the last episode. Juliet's like, yeah, that trailer, it's located at this random lot. You know, like she just starts confessing all this stuff. Like, it's not like she's under a spell or anything.
I don't remember that.
A stranger all about it.
I don't remember that episode.
Juliet.
That was like in season 2, last episode?
Yeah, right before she gets arrested and put in jail. The Hexenbiest gets arrested for...
Oh my gosh, did I miss an episode? I feel like
Did you see the episode where the Hexenbiest young lady ends up in the prison?
No. You know, I have no memory of it. I swear I watched every episode. I swear.
That's the last episode.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I went down every episode. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
On YouTube, I went and hit every one to the end. I don't remember that. I must have missed the last.
Yeah, that's the last episode. And it ends with the very last episode. It just made me laugh so bad because it's like they have this big cliffhanger and then they go, to be continued. And then after a second it goes, sorry.
Sorry, we have a cliffhanger.
Yeah. It's like, to be continued, and you go, ah! And then it goes, sorry.
That's
on the
funny,
bottom of
though.
the screen.
That's funny.
So if you didn't see that, you've not seen that last episode.
I know, or my brain just erased it completely from my brain. I don't have any memory of that. So Juliet told her where the trailer was?
Oh yeah, just like the Hexenbiest shows up at Grimm's house and is like, hey Juliet, you know, sorry about my cat scratching you. That's so strange, you went into a coma. Oh, let's go have coffee. And she's like, okay, strange lady I've only seen once, I'll go have coffee with you. And then she goes off and has coffee with her, and then she's like, you know what, did you ever see that trailer? You know, like, and then it's like, and Juliet's like, yeah, there was a trailer and it's off, and she tells her all about it, and I'm going, why are you telling this stranger all this stuff?
That's stupid, because just because your memory's erased doesn't mean you've gone stupid. I mean, you still
Right.
get common
It's
sense.
called we need this information to go to get to this character, and this is the only way we can think of getting that information to them. Sadly, it's not.
I know, but
very
it's frustrating
creative.
though.
Yeah. And then it gets more frustrating because Nick figures out, oh my gosh, she's with the Hexenbiest. She's in danger. Sends his cop buddies, to go and arrest the Hexenbiest. So they show up at the cop. What's that? Oh,
on what charge?
They're saying that she's a suspect in the murder of her own mother. Even though he knows that she didn't do it.
Oh, he just used that.
Yeah, they're using that as an excuse.
I like Grimm. I like Nick for the fact that he doesn't have that so much honor code thing as he you know what I mean? Like, I can't do that because it's not legal and it's not right. No, he's like, dang it, I'm going to use this.
Yeah, he's not over goody two-shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of times the goody two-shoes things just get you into trouble, It's one of the complaints that we've had about, like, Batman. It's like the Joker can go and kill off, hundreds of people, and Batman is too far bound to kill him.
Yes.
He goes to prison, he gets out, he kills another, buttload of people, and then he's like too honor bound to kill it. It's like, if you would just kill that guy, you would end all this carnage.
Exactly.
It's the greater good.
You'd be saving all these people by not
kill the one and save thousands, or let him live and be responsible for those thousands of deaths.
Yes, that happens all the time in the world's military. They do that all, you know what I mean? You go, okay, how many can we lose to save, this many more?
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, if I kill Hitler and, before he does all this stuff, would you do that? It's like, if you could travel back in time and kill Hitler, even though you're not like a you're not a murderer by nature, realizing that he's going to be this horrible, horrible person, it's like, wouldn't you want to kill him? And take that, that chance that you are getting rid of this whole horrible episode, So it's like, it's like you said, at least with Nick, he's like, I'm not going to be so goody two shoes that I can't get a job done.
Yes.
So he shows up.
Yeah, no, I was just catching us back up. Okay.
So he sends the cops to go arrest the Hexenbiest. And so they rush in, they arrest her, and it's like, you get this whole feeling like, okay, this is a dangerous lady, Juliet, that you were with, and your life was in danger.
How can you not know? I mean,
does she feel like any kind of, oh, Nick, was I in danger? No, nothing like that. She goes, all like, you're just trying to control me, and how dare you just come interrupt me in the middle of coffee? And she gets mad at him. It's like, what is wrong with you?
See, to me, that's bad writing. I mean, I know what you're saying, and, you got to carry the story forward and stuff like that, but there's got to be a better way. There's got to be a better, more, I don't know, believable, because that's just stupid.
That's the only thing. Like, I love the series, but I just don't like what they're doing with Juliet.
Yeah, they're gonna write her off. You know that. You can feel it, can't you? Because if the other podcast is talking about it, and if other people feel the same way, and they're watching it, or they get wind, they might just get rid of that character. Like, she's not working. I don't know.
I think they're gonna just keep bringing that back and keep twisting that knot. She's gonna be back because of the whole curse thing.
Yeah.
That's their information pipeline. When they can't think of a way to get information to another character naturally, then they give it to her. There you go.
And she must spill the beans.
She is their backup plan, so they can't get rid of her.
Yeah. But I don't understand how Juliet knew where that was anyway. I mean, as Nick, wouldn't you not tell anybody unless it's absolutely necessary? That is a very... it's not like you have standing guards over it. It's a little trailer in a deserted parking lot. Why?
Yeah, and that's another thing.
With everything.
It's so important. Why is it sitting out there? Like, it should be locked up.
I have said that so many times. I'm like, I don't get this. I mean, any bum could walk up and break into it just to see what's inside, or decide to sleep in it one night, you know what I mean, just to get out of the cold or whatever. He's got everything you could possibly, you know what I mean, just every secret, every weapon, and he just leaves it in the desert.
And for a while it had that key that everybody's looking for, you know, just
I mean, you could just break into that thing. It's made out of tinfoil, for crying out loud. I mean, you can't tell me that that's an impossible thing to break into.
You
could hook it up to a truck and tow it away.
Yep.
And if you just went to like one of those storage places, you know, that you just you know, at least then it's behind a lock with some surveillance.
Yes, so simple but yet so secure. I mean,
do something that makes sense.
Yes, so simple. See, we should be writing. We should be writing for this show.
Oh, that's right. We are writing stories.
No, I meant for Grimm.
Yeah.
For Grimm. Yeah, yours are, maybe that's why I like it so much. I'm like, okay, because I never questioned anything that happened with any of the characters ever, except for the sandwich, the food items. I was like, okay, I don't understand if they're in starvation mode. That was the only thing. Everything else was like, it made complete sense to me. I never questioned anything that was happening.
So see, it's like I can see with the show, okay, they want to move the story on, so they're going to have Juliet spill the beans randomly without any logic. And I could see where they're like, oh, we want people to worry about this, you know, the trailer, so we're going to make it, you know, not so hard to find. But if they take that next step, you know, and make it so that the Hexenbiest has to do something to Juliet to get her to spill the beans, or if they had it, you know, the trailer in a storage shed and he had to do something extra, you know, like people who want to get at it has to do more. It makes it more intense, you know. If they would go the logical step and then take a step beyond to overcome that, it's like, make him think there's no reason I should have to worry about that trailer. It is secure. And then the guy still gets at it, you know, or bad guys still get at it. Then it has to take it another step beyond, so it makes it more intense. So
I know. It just seems like for such a smart, intelligent guy, it just seems like such a stupid. Because he's trying to keep it so secret and so protective of what's happening. It just seems like such a stupid thing to do. My brain can't.
He's like, if I act like it's nothing, then people will think it's nothing. But
why are you visiting it all the time? I mean, if he's being followed, or if anybody has any clue at all, they'll know he's going to this trailer, and you know, I mean, he'll be caught eventually. You know what I mean? It's not even he's not even trying to hide it. He just goes and visits it. Sometimes he brings his mom.
Buddies.
Sometimes he brings his cop friend. I'm just like, that doesn't make any sense. I don't know. I just think that's just a stupid thing. Like, he should have it hidden. I mean, at least don't make it so obvious that you're going to this trailer all the time. He doesn't even try to hide it or anything.
Yeah. So maybe because that right at the end of the last episode, the bad guy. Well, I'm assuming he's a bad guy. The boss.
The boss.
He is like standing right outside the trailer. And it's like, yep. And that's when they do the, you know, you're like, oh my gosh, he's right outside the trailer. And they're like, to be continued. And they're like,
so the Hexenbiest told the boss where it was, or they don't, you don't know. You're kind of like unsure.
Yeah, the Hexenbiest tells him where it's at. And he goes to get it because she's trying to, I don't know, play all the sides or something. And she's like, you know, go get that key. Here's where it's located. And so he's going to go get the key, supposedly, but it's not actually in there. We know that Nick took the key out, but everything else is in there.
If they can break into a vault in a bank, I'm pretty sure you can get into whatever he's got in there.
Especially these creatures that can turn into whatever. They're ripping doors off, you know. So.
Exactly. I mean, unless he's got some sort of like spell on it. But I don't think Grimm and they don't really do spells. Yeah, they don't do anything.
I think they make potions, and it's more like the herbs have a quality to them. You know, not like they're using it as a spell creation.
Yeah, I think that's their way of making it more believable to most people is because people can go, oh, okay, I can see how that would You know what I mean? Herbs and all that. Because even the Hexenbiest does herbs and concoctions. I don't think she does anything.
Yeah, it's not like
I didn't see her
doing a spell with it or anything.
Yeah, even though the name kind of implies that she's magical. Hexenbiest, I mean, you think...
Right.
I mean, that's what I was thinking, you know, magic. Yeah, I don't think she does magic. But it would be cool if they brought that in. Maybe as the storyline progresses, maybe magic might find its way in. You know what I mean? Because how many monsters can you do? I mean, at some point, you know what I mean? At some point, it's like, how many, you know?
Yeah, they did have like a ghost lady for their Halloween episode.
Oh, they did? I saw the Halloween episode.
With the drowning. I think she was more like a ghost.
That's right. The one that was taking the children.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. I forgot about that. One was creepy to me.
Yeah. Oh, that one was almost too much.
Yeah, that was.
It was like, because if they'd have killed her at the end, I'd have felt better. She gets away, so it's like,
that's right. She was like a ghost. That's right. Mm-hmm. She was the only one that was like that. All the rest were monsters.
Yeah.
When they were bringing kids involved and she was going to drown them, I'm like pregnant and I'm emotional, and then I'm thinking about Alexia and I'm going, this is just too much. It's like because I'm immediately thinking that could have been my child. And I know I was taking it in a reel. You know, I'm like, how
getting intense.
Yes. Yeah. It was so bad. Yeah, that's the only one I didn't like. Anytime there's kids involved, I'm like, okay, I can't do. Can't do it.
Yeah. And then in the last episode too, I'm going to totally spoil the last episode for you.
No, go ahead.
We're leading into season 3, so this is what happens in the last episode. Nick finds out that Juliet kissed.
Oh, he did?
The detective.
I wondered if he found that out.
Yeah, he finds that out.
That was just a kiss, though. I mean, really.
Well, he's thinking, he gets told by Monroe. Monroe says, hey, I saw them kissing.
That's right. I did see that. See, I did see that. I remember that.
Okay, so Monroe spills the beans, and he's like, hey, wait, it might be the curse, but he's like, too flipping out that, his girlfriend was kissing his boss. So...
I did see that episode.
Yeah, so she tells him, like, he goes home and he's got this look like, right before he leaves, he's like, did Juliet see you when, like, she got caught kissing? Did she see you catch her? And he's like, yes. So Nick says, then she knows this is coming. And he goes home to talk to her.
Yes.
And she's all, like, nervous and I don't know what's happening to me, but I'm feeling this attraction to this other guy. And she doesn't say who it is, even though he already knows who it is. Mm-hmm. And he's like, whatever, this is over. And so he walks out. And then later he shows back up and she's like in bed, and he comes into the bedroom and she's like, well, you're not staying in here. And he's like, yeah, I know. And he grabs his clothes and he leaves. Like, he's, like, done with her. So at the end of the last episode, he's, like, done.
That's weird. And
I was like, I was, like, cheering for Nick. Because I was like, yes, don't just keep dragging it on. If it's, because it seemed like it was practically over the whole season. It's like, she's not really trying. And every time she tries, she pulls away, as far as he could tell.
Yeah.
It's because she's obsessing about, Captain Renard or whatever, and it's like, for him, it's like, she's not coming around, He's trying really hard, and it doesn't seem like she's reciprocating, so I was like, he's tired of sleeping on the couch, so,
And isn't it his house, though? I mean, it's not even her house. I thought it was his house.
Yeah, I don't know whose house it is, but he walks out, and he's gonna go, like, use the upstairs room at Monroe's house or something.
Oh, yeah.
So they might work all whose house it is out later. but he at least was like, walking away. He walks away from that. So I'm like, go Nick,
Yes. Because we're done with Juliet.
Yeah.
I was kind of like, okay. Well, I can't believe I forgot the whole giving away where the trailer was. That just blows my mind that I didn't remember that. Or maybe I walked away or something. I don't even know. But I'm just shocked that she knew where it was. I'm like, why would you tell your girlfriend
Yeah.
And she's got memory loss of all the things to remember.
It's like she's only supposed to have forgotten Nick. Like, she remembers everybody else and everything else, just not Nick. But then how does she know Aunt Marie if it's Nick's aunt, you know?
Yeah. And the trailer, because it's his trailer. I don't know. Yeah.
Was it ever actually shown that he told her?
Not in season 2. He doesn't tell her. So he might have told her in season 1.
Yeah, because we missed all that where he confessed or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But still, I don't know. It just seems like one of those things that you wouldn't tell. Even if you confessed everything of what you are, if you've got a secret bat cave, I mean, that's you wouldn't tell that to your girlfriend. I mean, I wouldn't think. I mean, you would. That would be still the secret. That's like, okay, I can't tell that. You know, that's just something that you don't tell. I just am shocked that she knew about it.
Yeah. So, and they kind of made it sound like she'd kind of seen a receipt or something for the storage yard or something, like she kind of had this notion that's where it went, and so it wasn't even.
That was
so
a storage
much
yard. That was like an abandoned parking lot. It had a bunch of crap in it.
I know.
I bet I'm paying for what?
Yeah.
It didn't look like it had security. I'll tell you that.
I don't even think it had a fence around it.
I don't know. That's what I mean. I'm like, what am I paying for?
It's just a gravel lot out in the middle of nowhere. It's not even in the middle of nowhere. You could see city behind it, so it's like.
Yeah, I mean, should he could pay an RV lot and park it in there, and it would blend.
Yeah.
And it would have security.
Uh-huh.
Jeez Louise. And nobody it was weird.
There are a lot of small things that just, it's like, if you all are supposed to be writing creatively, you could have come up with something better.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like that. This must have been when must have been 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. The coffee was wearing off. They were falling asleep, and it's like, we'll just say that she knows, and it doesn't matter how she knows. And the trailer, we're just gonna say it's out in the middle of nowhere, so nobody know. You know, it's in an abandoned lot in the middle of the city, so nobody knows where it's at. It's like too many loose ends.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. When it starts taking me out of it, I don't.
Yeah, those little things, they are small, but they are important enough to remove you from the story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's how I feel. Because it goes against what you think of Nick. You know what I mean?
Being very
just goes
smart. Yeah.
Yeah, and it goes against logic. Because, I mean...
Especially him being a cop. It's like, he should know security.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, or maybe I'm just overly cautious. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. But, I mean, I'm thinking if I've got this ultimate secret or this whatever, I don't even know what he's got in there, but I mean I know it's all from his family, and it's all the intel, if you want to call it intel.
I don't think he knows what all he has in there.
Yeah, I mean it just doesn't make sense that you would just park it in a crappy yard. So that my brain. I mean, I just don't understand that. I don't care what you were doing as the writer. And the fact that they went, yeah, that sounds good. A bunch of writers went, yeah, that sounds completely plausible. And they didn't, and they stuck with it through an entire 2 seasons. Like that.
Yeah. But there's a lot that I like about the series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are little things like that that take you out of the story, but it's still a good show. Like I said, I've only seen 1 episode so far, but I watched a whole lot more of this than I have of other shows recently, and I could definitely watch more of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There are a few things that they need to stop and think and fix these little problems, and then it'd be perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then it would be intense. It would raise that level of intensity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the stories are really good and believable, especially the CSI work and the detective work. I mean, the way they mingle real, actual detective work with the monster stuff. That is, I mean, they do a really good job.
And Wu, I don't know.
Sergeant Wu.
Yeah, he is hilarious too.
Yeah.
When he comes across stuff, he's got interesting takes on it. But it kind of sounds like that sort of sarcastic cop observation. I could see a cop being that way, but he brings a good delivery to that. So I really like him. And the whole Nick's interaction with his partner.
Yeah, I like those two.
Yeah. Nick and Monroe have a good vibe, and Nick and his partner have a good vibe. So they really do. I think they do that well. The partner is Lieutenant Hank Griffin.
Yeah. So, yeah, and what I like is he brings that authentic street smart to it. Like somebody that seems like a skeptic.
Right.
Or, you know what I mean? Like he's been around. He's not stupid. He's obviously had a life, and I just like the fact that he's like, it's almost like he's everyman. He's that everyman character that because he's street smart and he's a skeptic, but he doesn't. I don't know, and the two of them together work well together. I think the characters, not just the actors, but the characters.
Right.
Because he's more street. And Grimm's more, well, I mean, Grimm, I guess, is street, but he's more, I don't know, not magical, but you know what I mean? He brings all the stuff he knows. And I don't even know how Grimm knows all the stuff he does. Because he didn't know who his mother was, and he didn't know who he was there for a long, isn't that what it said?
I think he learned a lot in season 1. I think there was a lot of what the heck in season 1 for him.
Okay, you grew up your whole life not knowing you were a Grimm. And then boom, you go into monster fighting.
Yeah.
I mean, that seems really odd. I know the mom said she tried to keep him from it. She thought she was doing the right thing by keeping him from it. Though she looks back now and realizes she couldn't possibly keep him from it. I mean, it's who he is. Yeah. But I'm thinking, how do you go through your whole life with all this stuff happening, and then boom,
and not be like, weirdness,
Yeah, and then boom, all of a sudden, oh, by the way, all these books you should have been studying your whole life. Here you go. All this history. I mean, you didn't even plop that on him. And
here's a decade or two of information that you need to know, and oh, by the way, in 10 minutes there will be a quiz.
Yes, because he's got like thousands of years of knowledge, family knowledge, and monster fighting, and it's like, oh yeah, and by the way, here, because they're coming after you.
Yeah, in 10 minutes there will be a quiz, and yes, your life does depend on it.
Yeah, if he hadn't already been a cop, he'd have been in all kinds of hurt.
Exactly. I just thought that was another weird part of the story. Is I'm like, he didn't even know who he was. He didn't know anything, and then boom, he's got to do all this fighting. I mean, he's got to figure this all out, and he's so calm about it. I mean, I don't know how season 1 went. So, I mean, I would have just for him being thrown into it, I would have liked to have seen how he dealt with just being thrown into it.
Yeah.
But season 2, he seemed like he was completely like he'd been doing it his whole life.
Yeah, it's all second nature, and oh, by the way, this is this is that.
Yeah, exactly. Unless that's what being a Grimm is. maybe that's what it's about. It's like just internal.
Being a Grimm gives you a cool head.
Yeah. Yeah. And the detective training really helped.
Yeah.
They kind of did that same sort of thing, like with the Charmed. Did you ever watch Charmed?
I only watched a couple episodes here and there. Okay. I just never got into that one.
Yeah, when they first started off with Charmed, it was like, oh yeah, my mom was a witch, my grandmother was a witch, and they could have been telling us about witchcraft all along, but they didn't, and now everybody's dead, and it's kind of sprung on us, and we find this book, and we have to fumble our way through it, and it's like the whole, it's bringing the audience along to figure things out as the characters are figuring things out.
Yeah.
But, so I'm wondering if it was like that kind of approach, like
maybe, yeah, but it is kind of
the characters figured out and show the audience as their
learning. Which makes sense as an audience member, but then the part of me is going, well, for the character it doesn't make sense. I'm like, why? But then I guess you could say that with languages, like you have a parent or grandparent that knows the language and they never taught it to you, and it's like you could have been teaching that second language to me all along, and because you know what I mean, but you didn't, because my dad could have taught us Japanese, and his mom knew German, and she refused to teach any of the kids German, and so but they thought they were doing the right thing by not teaching them, you know what I mean, like, and my dad never pressured us to learn Japanese, but I'm like, we could have grown up speaking another language. Now we can't. I mean, we could, but I mean, I'm not going to go take Japanese courses. But I mean, it's like, why didn't you share that knowledge?
Could have opened up more avenues.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But I did try to teach German to Alexia. I would give her words here and there, and I'll tell you what, it is hard when they don't want to, when you don't know that much about the language and they're not that interested. I kind of lost. I don't even teach her anything anymore, but I mean, she knows how to do 1 to 10, and I was teaching her tree and different objects when she was little. I don't think she remembers any of that. I mean, she just doesn't, it just was something that you couldn't, like, she didn't care to know. So that could, who knows? So as the parent trying to teach, I can see why you wouldn't want to bother.
But if her life was going to depend on her knowing German,
oh well, then yeah.
You'd have been on her. You'd be like, go on, kid.
Deutsch. Yeah. Yeah, I don't understand that. Yeah, I don't get that.
A lot of times, and even with Grimm especially, it's like it's the monster of the week. It's like you could pick it up any episode and just kind of, there's the monster of the week, we're going to go after it, and we get it, and next week there's the monster of the week, and we go after it, and then we get it. So it kind of has the same, I'm running the same, story over and over,
Hamster
just
wheel.
change the monster.
But explaining it like that kind of is a misconception, because when you were first telling me about it, you were saying monster of the week, and I was like, I had, preconceived notions of what monster of the week was, and this isn't, to me, it doesn't seem like, just monster of the week, and now we're doing another monster, and now we're doing another monster. It has enough of an underlying, well, not even really underlying completely. The monster of the week in the first episode of the second season, I didn't see the monster of the week very much through the first half of the episode. He was shown, yes, he was shown at the beginning. You got to see him a couple of times, but it was it was into the second half before he was really shown. The first half was more about the overall story arc.
I saw the mixing of the two, which is what I liked about the show. It was a mixing of the storyline, the characters, and real cop drama, but it also had a monster of the week. You know what I mean? Right. Thrown in there, because I noticed that there was a different monster in every episode, but it wasn't like, you know what I mean? I liked it because the way they blended the progression of the story and real cop, figuring out crime, but with a monster.
Right.
Yeah.
So
it does take it to the next level.
Yes. Yeah. When I heard Monster of the Week, I was kind of thinking Twilight Zone. We've got a different concept. This episode has little or absolutely nothing to do with the previous episode. That, to me, that's what Monster of the Week is. It's we've got a monster, and we're fighting this monster, and if you didn't see the previous episode, pretty much everything's going to make sense because it doesn't matter. But it does have a little bit of Monster of the Week. They're interacting with, or they're fighting with a new monster each episode, but there is a lot of story to it.
Yeah,
so
that's what I like.
It's a lot more. it's a lot more engaging than like the Twilight Zone.
Yeah. Yeah, because they take what's really happening now in crime and mingling it with a monster. You know, like the child kidnapping. I mean, but that was a ghost, but still the abduction, child abduction, and then the family abducting that teenage girl to raise her back. You could almost see a cult. They did it more like a religious cult, but it was coyotes. You know what I mean? I like the way they take real crime here and they mixed it with a monster.
Yeah, it's almost like you could look at crime stories you've heard and go, that could have actually been a coyote thing, or a,
yeah. I found myself doing that. Like, I could see, because when the coyotes, I was like, this is like a religious cult. It had that feel to it.
And it would get explained away like that. And, people who don't understand what's really going on, they'll explain it to themselves to make sense. And so that's the explanation they'll come up with.
Yeah. And it seems like in every episode it was mixed with a real crime or something that we've all heard of. Monster. Or monster somehow played into it. If it wasn't about the monster, but there was a monster happening, something was going on with the monster while they were also solving whatever that crime was.
Yeah.
You know, my stupid cat. You hear it? I mean, I gotta just set the animal. That's okay. There's something I forgot to do, is lock all animals where they need to be before we started.
We all have podcasts to make their appearance. The fuzzballs will make their appearances periodically. The viewers have been warned.
Well, my cat was already walking around in the background very early on.
Yeah.
And so far, every episode, my dog Karma has been right next to me.
I've heard the shaking.
Yes.
Like she's shaking.
Like she can't be anywhere else. She has to be right next to me, which is kind of good. She's not barking.
Them in the beginning, like, okay, here's our cat. Okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Here's Fuzzball 1. Here's Fuzzball 2. Here's
so if ever
Loudmouth.
I seem like I'm doing this, is because I'm petting Karma.
I didn't even notice you were doing that. I couldn't tell. I had no idea.
If I don't pet her, she keeps nudging closer. So I have to keep the whole episode.
You're not
I'm
paying
petting
attention to me.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice you were petting.
Yeah.
I'm moving because of my back. You'll see me doing this, and I'm forward. My back is my back. I won't say any more, but it's taking a toll on my back, so I'm constantly moving to adjust. So that's why I'm moving all the time.
Yeah. So, what are we looking forward to in season 3? What are you hoping to see? Or what do you expect to see?
Well, now that I know the real ending to season 2, I can't wait to find out what they get out of that trailer. If they make it in, I don't know how they're not going to make it into that trailer, but what's going to be uncovered and how if Nick's going to lose the trailer. And I don't know. I don't know where the whole princes from Europe, what they want with him to begin with. So I just want that answered, or figure that one out.
There was something about, he's got a key that it's like a butterfly knife to bring out the key. If you know how the butterfly knife folds out. Yeah. The key does that. So instead of a knife, it's a key. But the two sides on that make a little pattern. And apparently there's, I don't remember how many keys, like 7 or 9 keys or something. And different people were entrusted with the key. And if they put the keys together in a row and kind of, it's got like a raised surface on the side of the key. They put the keys together and they kind of, put a piece of paper on top of it and do the charcoal thing. To get the pattern to show, it actually forms a map. And it leads to some place that's going to have some, like, super power energy or something. I don't know what's at the end. They said what it was, and I forget what it was. Something
they're already princes. What more do they want? That's what I can't figure out. You're already princes, and you're already rich beyond rich, because we've seen where they've lived. Yeah. I don't see. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, I think it'll give them more power over all the other species of creatures. like
and to take over the world, because really,
essentially take over the world, I guess.
Is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah.
Of course, it always boils down to world domination, doesn't it? At all,
Yeah.
Not enough unless I have world domination.
So Nick's got one key. There's other keys out there that I'm sure is going to get found.
I couldn't figure out what their benefit was. I'm like, you're already princes. You're already rich. I don't understand.
Right.
What does royalty want?
Yeah.
Power.
Yeah. Well, that's true.
So they'll probably continue along with that storyline. I'm sure they're going to keep looking for the key because they keep talking about the key. You can tell the Hexenbiest is being brought in to be more. She's going to continue to be a troublemaker.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they're going to continue to talk about Juliet and Renard's curse and their connection, which is going to, of course, aggravate Nick to no end, because I could just see he's going to walk in on a kiss or something, and he's going to go.
Or they're just going to go with the spell and just have a relationship.
See, several times in season 2, she could have gone with Renard and got the spell taken care of, but no, she has to keep running away.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how I feel about this, but I can't stop thinking about you. So another.
But now that she's broken up with Nick, it could happen now.
Yeah, now they're free to be together.
Yes.
So, and somehow I think they're kind of pulling it out like the spell affected Renard.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so, I mean, he's falling for her too, and I'm wondering if that's supposed to help kind of bring him where he might be like on the edge of good and bad. I think that might like be bringing him more towards the good. So maybe that will draw him into being more like on Nick's side or whatever, like to do the good work, whatever that is. So I'm hoping maybe that's where he'll go. And I really like Renard,
me too. But I do too.
Even though he's got this underlying something's going on with him.
Because he almost feels like at the last minute he's going to do the right thing.
Yeah.
He has that feeling.
Yeah, he's redeeming all the time. He's all the time redeeming who he is.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he gets like an award at one point because he's done so much good for the city, and he kind of keeps enabling Nick to do his Grimm work. Like Nick is like, I've got this feeling about this guy, and Renard's kind of like, I get it, it's a Grimm thing. Okay, you've got permission, or he'll open the pathway so he can do.
But even though he technically isn't supposed to know that Nick's a Grimm.
Yeah, Nick doesn't know he knows, but he knows, and so he does what he can to kind of allow it to happen. So, he's all the time. If it wasn't for Renard, a lot of times Nick wouldn't be able to legally do the stuff that he gets away with.
I know, and he comes in and sometimes professionally rescues him from being in trouble. That's why I'm like, that is an interesting character, because he could just throw him to the wolves. He could.
Yeah, he could totally.
And he's not. That's why I'm like, where are you coming from? Everybody's got a motive. Everybody's got a reason for doing what they do. Mm-hmm. So, it's interesting.
So, and we'll see, I think, more Rosalie and Monroe. Their little romance building up. And I think they're allowed to have a romance because they're not the main characters, so they can kind of get them together without having to keep throwing the crazy stuff in the way. So
I don't see anything impeding them at all.
Yeah, beside her sick aunt or whatever.
Her sick aunt. She's better now, surprisingly.
Yeah, because she and Monroe, like they had their big first kiss,
Well, that was when she was under not a spell, but
she was sick or something.
Yeah, she was injected.
But it kind of allowed them to move past that friends barrier that they were kind of pushing up against anyway. So it was kind of opening up, maybe we can start dating or something, and because they were already like practically there, like almost in a relationship almost, but they just hadn't acknowledged it. So I was like, okay, they're going to move on. And then she jumped off. That's why I was like, I don't know. Let somebody have a moment, Yeah. So I hope more Monroe. I like him. So
yeah, I know there's going to be more Monroe. He's like a staple.
And he also helps, like, Nick can only find out so much from the research.
Exactly. He's like his underground informant.
Yeah, the research from the trailer is like all historical, and Monroe can kind of put it modern, like this is how it actually works, and the historical stuff is like from a Grimm perspective, where Monroe can then give it from, the sort of monster perspective, where the monsters aren't straight bad guys. That's another thing I like, is that they could have very easily gone monster people equal bad guy, automatically just kill them all because they're bad.
Yes. Which the mom felt.
Yeah,
his mom, when she came in, felt the same way. She's like, there are no good monsters.
Yeah. Yeah. And they kind of had that vibe. I keep comparing it to Charmed because I'd watched every single episode of Charmed like 47 times. But in Charmed, it was like demons. Everybody's a demon, and we have to kill them all. They're always got to kill them, got to kill them. There was no. I think they had like one episode where somebody was like redeemable, and they redeemed them or something. But it's like, as soon as you identify them, you kill them on sight. Period. Because they're going to try and kill you on sight.
So doesn't demon pretty much say it all? I mean...
Yeah, but I'm just saying it was like very one-dimensional. You see him, you kill him. And with Nick, it's not one-dimensional. It's not, you see, you kill. It's like, okay, I see you. Now I still need to find out, what's going on with you. It's like, okay, like with the guy that was a coyote, that his daughter was kidnapped. He didn't automatically go, oh my gosh, you're a monster, so therefore... you must have killed her, or he still took mercy on him and still wanted to help him. And
yes, but makes me wonder if it's going to backfire one day on him. To not.
Possibly, yeah.
It does leave that door open.
Because he wants, he's treating people like, or the monsters like people. Or, yeah.
The way we should be treated.
Yeah.
He's wanting to see the good in everybody.
Yes.
Yeah. Or at least allowing for there to be good.
But then, that character Adeline, she didn't fool him. So he obviously, I don't know where along the line he figured her out. It must have been season one sometime.
Season one, yeah.
Yeah, but obviously he wasn't too stupid that,
It allows him to, he wants to see the good in all of them, but he's not naive enough to put good in someone who doesn't have any. If they don't have it, he can see that they don't have it, and they go on the hit list.
Yeah, and that's another thing too. Yeah. He's had to kill a few people.
I was just gonna say that.
He's gotten away with some brutal slayings. Although in that one episode that you were mentioning, where that guy was getting tortured, and they kind of tried to make it look like it was Nick, kind of pointing the finger at Nick there. Yeah, I thought, he's not going to be able to keep doing what he's doing, and, without people start going, hey. It is true. Everybody you're trying to arrest ends up dead, Yeah. With the axe in their head or something.
Yeah. Mutilated. Yeah. Throat ripped out. Yeah.
It's like, how many people are running around the city with a mace, Yeah. He's running around with it.
I know, you get a glimpse into the weapons he's got in that trailer, and you're like, okay. That's not normal. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I would like some of those for my collection.
Yes. Some of those were really cool. I know.
Yeah, you think Wu would start going, you've got a crossbow in your back seat, and this guy's got an arrow in his chest.
Yeah, exactly. I like the partner said that. He was like, you've got a crossbow? Remember when he took him to the trailer?
Yeah.
Like, you have a crossbow? Like, I'm a hunter.
Yeah. And nobody will notice me running around with it.
Yeah.
This is a hunting crossbow.
Yeah. But Nick has had some pretty cool fight scenes too. And his mom did too.
Oh my god, his mom was way a million times better. Oh my god.
She was all ninja.
She was crazy good. I really liked her character. I was bummed that they wrote her off. I thought she was going to stay. I thought once she showed up, she was staying. Because, you thought Nick was a badass, and then here comes this lady, and she's... 10 times.
Well, she's had more experience and she's had a lot more years to practice.
Yeah, and she's so much more hardened than him. I mean, in life and everything, it was like she was just wicked good. I mean, I
want her
really,
to come back.
Yeah, I do. I want her to come back. She was fascinating. I was like, James, you got to see her. You got to see her. I kept telling him about her, the mom. I'm like, you got to watch her. She's good. I can't remember this. Yeah, that's it. I mean, I would talk about the episode where she faked somebody up, but I don't remember the episode, so it doesn't do any good.
Yeah. Okay, so season 3 starts in March on NBC. It's on Friday nights, so watch it. We're gonna watch it. We'll do another episode, another podcast about it once we see what's going on in the new episodes. Mm-hmm. Sound good?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Hit it.
You've been listening to the Ultimate Urban Fantasy Podcast. Find us on the web at ultimateurbanfantasy.com. Make sure you sign up for the mailing list for updates and goodies. And hook up with us on Twitter, Facebook, Google+, and YouTube. You can find out more about Archer and Ravenheart's The She series at shetouch.com. That's SIDHETOUCH.com. See you next time.